Amen. You guys doing okay? Yeah. Thank the singers as always for a great job. Amen. Oh, I think Porter for what he shared. Amen. That's encouraging. Alright, so you guys doing well, right? That's me. If you're here, I'm the Frank Davis dude. And we're going to talk about the Bible. Amen. Amen. Now, I've got, the name of the sermon today is Time in the Desert. Wow. And I've got a video to show that's really, really good that I think I'm going to wait on for another week. So, I might wait on the video and not do it this week because I wanted something else, and I can't do the video and that thing together. That makes sense? So, is anybody familiar with Israel leaving Egypt, the Exodus? Yeah. And I want some of y'all to give me a synopsis of Israel's journey from Egypt to the Promised Land. That makes sense. I want to, if you had to give your own brief version of it, I'd like for you to give me a description. That makes sense? Yeah. All right. So, in your own words, a brief history of Exodus. I'd say, Austin, can you give my legs? So Vincent be first up. Yeah. First up, Vincent. Yeah, boy.
Hi, oh wow. All right, so they had faith. They left. They were chased. They lost faith. Moses had faith. They got through it. They had faith again. They lost their way again. They got stranded longer in there. They got faith back. Then lost faith again.
Wow.
This happens like a bunch of times. So that back and forth quite a few times, and then all those guys who what was it? I think it was they built like a golden calf or something like that. And then I think all the people who did that and stuff like that, they all had to die before, I think the only people who were left alive were Joshua, Caleb, and that's a couple people, and the children after them, basically. And then all of those original people that had to die before they could make it to the Promised Land, and they made it to the Promised Land. Except for Moses, he just saw it.
Okay, so this is the new revised Vincent version of the Bible. Appreciate it, thank you. Okay, anybody else? Anyone want to fill in the blanks that Vincent may have left out? No, okay, there you go, Latricia. Latricia's smart. She's smart.
Your name?
I was just what Vincent said, I was thinking on my head. They had faith, they lost faith, and through it all, God was faithful. It just was a testimony of God's faithfulness no matter where they were at in their life. They had hardships, they doubted, they just with losing even friends or people they knew, Moses not being able to go into the Promised Land, his heart to even be challenged with that, so it was really, to sum it all up, a journey of faith, fighting to keep your faith, God's faithfulness over it all, wanting his people to remain faithful. His promises kept coming to remind them to stay faithful. And in the end, even as they doubted, and in the end, they saw, those who made it saw the Promised Land. And even for those who didn't see it, their faith to still believe, even for their children and for people after them.
That's great. Great. Anybody else? Want to fill in the details? Foster, Australian for Bible. All right, what you got for me?
To fill in, I do remember that, I guess for about 40 years they wandered in the desert, and what's amazing is their feet never swelled, I guess, because they have the same pair of shoes. And that just blew my mind, that just small details like that, how were they able to wander around in the desert, and their feet didn't swell. And I think God made himself very evident, because if you wondered what God's will was, he spelled it out plainly with the rewards or the consequences. You know, he made himself evident when it was time to move, when it was time to sit. And, you know, I just think that it seems like on the surface that could have erased any doubt that they could have had. But, you know, us being people, we still find a way, you know, to make it more hard than it has to be.
Okay, great. Kim, and then we'll close that part of that.
So, I think first about the burning bush with Moses. Moses not being confident that he could. It's like God knew that he wanted Moses to do this, but Moses didn't see himself doing that, and doubted that plan. And then, you know, the people were oppressed, and they wanted to get from under Pharaoh, but when it was time to do that, they didn't like the way, they were afraid. And so, when I think about the walls of water, it's like that was so amazing, but so much doubt came after that. And God, the way he fed them, you know, manna from heaven, you know, they were trying to store it up, you know, more than what he said. It just, on so many levels, you know, what Vincent was saying about they had faith, they didn't. But it's like they had went through the water, you know, God was feeding them. You know, he tried to tell them where he was taking them, wanted them to go scout it out. But it was just doubt on every hand, of just the people not wanting to trust God. And it's like this whole journey was about trusting God. Even, you know, with Moses, it's like the whole thing was just about trusting God. And it's like he was, you know, through all of these things that were happening, they were being themselves, but it was like a parent trying to train your children to trust you. That's what it makes me think of. And then at the end, Moses not even being able to go when he had endured so much and had been the most faithful to me. You know, he was able to see it from a distance, but it was like they were all learning the same lesson. So that's what I think.
Amen. All right, let me get this mic back. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mr. Austin. He's single and available. Just wanted to point that out to anybody in particular. All right, so anyways, there's a lot going on here. Next slide. Time of in the desert. That's the name of the sermon. Involves testing of our faith, right? Our faith being tested. Let's read the next slide. I want to read the passage in Deuteronomy chapter 8. And it's on the slides. But in Deuteronomy 8, starting with verse 1, I hit the wrong button here. 1 second. I don't need that. There you go. It just says, be careful to follow every command I'm giving to you today, so that you may live and increase and may enter and possess the land the Lord promised on oath to your ancestors. Remember how the Lord, your God, led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would keep his commands. He humbled you, causing you to hunger and then feeding you with manna, which neither you nor your ancestors had known, to teach you that man does not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. Your clothes did not wear out, and your feet did not swell during these 40 years. Know then in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so the Lord your God disciplines you. Phenomenal passage, right? So this is Moses at the end, who was not allowed to go into the promised land himself. But at the end, as they were finally entering the promised land, giving final instructions to Israel and reminding them what God had done. Now, understand this. This is the second time they had been to the promised land. They had been to the promised land 40 years earlier. See, the trip from Egypt to the promised land took from 11 to 40 days. Depending on what scholar you're listening to. So that trip was somewhere between 11 and 40 days and done. Not 40 years. Okay, and so they were fleeing from Egypt, and yes, Pharaoh's army tried to follow them and bring them back, but God swallowed up Pharaoh's army in what? The Red Sea. So they weren't being followed anymore, and they had an 11-day to 40-day journey to get to the promised land, and they're done. But they grumbled, they complained, they moaned and groaned, they wanted to build a golden calf and go back to Egypt, and all these different things. Then when they got there, they got to the promised land, they sent spies in to see that it was good. And it was amazing, but the spies saw the cities and the warriors that protected it and said, look, we can't do this. And 10 of the 12 spies gave a bad report, and two gave a good report. And the spies that gave a bad report turned the hearts of the people. And they're like, let's go back. This is too hard for us. We can't do this. And because of the faithlessness of the people, God said, look, not one of you, other than Caleb who had faith, and Joshua son of Nun who had faith, not one of you, they estimate this is over 1 million people, right? Not one of you will ever see the promised land. And so the reason why the 40 years after the journey was that whole generation died out in the desert. They essentially walked in circles for 40 years. And so when Moses is talking to, look, how God tested you and humbled you, he's talking to the children. That God pruned and raised up a generation in that desert that would inherit the promised land. And it was the children that inherited the promised land, and all the parents died in the desert, other than Caleb son of Nun, Caleb and Joshua son of Nun. Pretty intense, right? Time in the desert. You know, time in the desert doesn't always make you better. Sometimes it makes you bitter. Didn't always grow your faith. Sometimes you lose your faith. Didn't always very closer to God. Sometimes it creates anxiety and resentment toward God, and anger toward God that things are so hard for so long. Time in the desert didn't always work out. And so we have some examples of people spending time in the desert, and one of the great ones is Exodus. There was a whole generation that got the wrong lessons from the desert. And they spent their time complaining. And they spent their time wondering why this trip is so hard. And this is the 40-day trip. And there's time wondering why they can't go back to Egypt where things were easy, being a slave was easy. That sounds crazy, right? I mean, you're a slave and you're praying every day, God, free me from my bondage. And then you get free, and then, you're in the desert, you're thirsty like, God, bring me back to bondage. This is too hard. But can you relate to that? You ever, God, you're here, God's brought you so far. God's delivered all so much, but then sometimes we're like, well, God, I had boyfriends when I was in the world. Man, if I hadn't, my friends who are in the world, they got better houses, they drive better cars. I've given so much to you, and what do I have? See, this Israel thing doesn't sound so far-fetched. I mean, look, they were thirsty, and God gave them water from a rock, and they complained. After that, where's the food? And God gave manna from heaven, and they ate it for a couple of days, and they're like, where's the meat? And God made quail just fall out of the sky, and they ate quail, and they're like, okay, we got bread and meat, but we eating bread and quail every other day. Where's the variety? And they grumbled and they complained, and look, and go back to the Exodus. God told them at the front of the journey that the either 11 or 40 days, they were shocked they were so big and tough and strong. And they complained about that. Oh, you parted the Red Sea, and you brought manna from heaven, but these people are too strong and too tough. And this is too hard. So God said, enough of that. And a whole generation died in the desert. And so it was on to the children to learn the lessons of the desert. And they did, and they didn't. You know, and so you can go on and read it for yourself, the book of Joshua, and understand that they learned some lessons, but they didn't really learn the lessons you learned. But time in the desert doesn't always make you better. It can make you better. Then always grow faith, you can lose faith. So we have a choice of what our time in the desert is going to do for us. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. It's a time of testing, it's a time of temptation, it's a time of trial. And we all spend time in hardship in the desert. And we all spend more time than we want. And we all spend time in unexpected ways. And we all spend time that we want to end. But if we spend our time in the desert, praying for the desert to end, we're missing the point. If you spend your time in the desert like, God, why is this happening to me? You're missing the point. If you overlook the blessing, because you couldn't survive. They survived. The feet never got sore. Can you imagine you're in the desert for 40 years? Feet never got sore. Clothes never wore out. If you overlook God's blessings while you're going through hardship and focus on the fact that you're in hardship. They had food every day. They were never hungry. Their clothes, but they couldn't. All they could see was, wow, we're in the desert. Why has this happened to us? Other nations, they have homes. Why are we wandering? If I never followed God, would I be wandering? How are you during hard times? What is the voice you're listening to, and what's the voice coming from you? In hard times, are we missing the lessons from our times in the desert? You study Exodus, you're going to learn how to do it wrong. But God has it there because it's a cautionary tale for us, right? Well, how do you do it right? Temptation and testing. I'm glad you asked. Let's read about someone that did it the right way. Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Jesus also spent time in the desert. Literally and figuratively. Chapter 4, verse 1 just says, and turn there in your Bible or device, this is too long to paste for a slide, that Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And that word tempted is also translated tested sometimes. It means both. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. That's an understatement. You fast one day, you're hungry. After 40 days, I don't know what you are after 40 days. The tempter came to him and said, if you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread. Jesus answered, it is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God. Well, where is it written? Deuteronomy chapter 8, we just read it. Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. If you are the Son of God, he said, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. Jesus answered him, it is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test. This is so significant. Jesus responded with verses both times. But you know who quotes scriptures too? The devil. See, sometimes in our society we think doctrine is not important. Doctrine is very important. Satan quotes scripture. He didn't mind scripture. He takes it out of context. Switches little details here and there. See, he took the verse out of context, switched one word in the verse, and tried to make it seem like you just do whatever you want and God will. He said, no, that's not what that passage means. Jesus said, look, I know my word. You don't put the Lord your God in the test. Checkmate. Don't get the scripture battle with Jesus. Verse 8. Again the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the splendor. All this I will give you, he said, if you will bow down and worship me. Jesus said to him, away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Then the devil left him, and angels came and attended him. So we're told that after the temptation, the angels came and they attended Jesus and comforted him, right? Well, this same encounter is recorded in both Matthew 4 and Luke 4. And so Luke gives slightly different details. At the very end, it says, when the devil had finished all his tempting, he left him until an opportune time. So we're given this in the perspective of Jesus. Jesus got comforted, but then inside of the devil wasn't gone for good. He said, okay, this wasn't a good time to tempt you. I'll be back. I'll get you when it's time. So if the devil believes it's an opportune time to get Jesus, what's he believe about me? Right? Time in the desert. Jesus spent time in the desert. This is something I want you to understand. For many years, being silly, I guess, or being a little slow, I thought in some ways what created the opportunity to be tempted was the fasting. Because he was weak and from fasting, he was kind of vulnerable, right, to being tempted. But I guess because I've been praying and fasting, I realized probably the opposite was true. The verse 1 says he went to the desert. Why? To be tempted. See, here's the thing. For a long time, I had the idea that he went to the desert to prepare himself for his ministry. And that's how I preach a lot of times. He went there to kind of prepare himself. And I think that's true because temptation and testing comes before greatness. But the specific reason why he was called to the desert by God was to be tempted, to be tested. Wow. It wasn't to fast. It was to be tested. It's interesting, isn't it? He was going to be tested whether he fasted or not. So how did Jesus spend his time in the desert? Praying and fasting. Here we go. What's the message about? Praying and fasting. See, how did he spend his time? He didn't spend his time in the desert grumbling, God, bring somebody to the desert, I got things to do. How long I gotta be here? I had to leave heaven to come here. That's a test already. Why gotta be tested some more? And where can I find a good burger in the desert? He said, okay, I gotta be here. I'm going to be tested. I'm going to pray and fast. If I gotta be here for 40 days, I'm going to fast for 40 months. If I want to be tested in the desert, I'm going to spend my time getting my spirit right. Praying about thy will be done. Praying about giving me the strength to do what you call it. Praying about God's mission for my life. Praying about what God, I want to spend this time in the desert being refined. Praying for the strength to overcome the trials I know are coming my way. Fasting wasn't the trial. Fasting was a solution to the trials. He was focused on scripture and focused on the Lord and on prayer and focus on fasting. And so when the devil came, he was ready. He was ready. And he was in the desert, but he was in the desert getting ready. Because in the desert, there are all kinds of tests. In the desert of illness, in the desert of death, in the desert of hurt, in the desert of loneliness, in the desert of job insecurity, in the desert of family drama. Because what's a good family about drama? In the desert of suffering and loss of loved ones. Anybody in the desert? Anybody going through it? There are all kinds of trials in the desert. The desert of loneliness, the desert of lust and impurity, just calling out to you. And I'm not even talking about falling into it. I'm just talking about the fact that it's calling out, it's knocking on the door. David, it's your friend lust. Come out and play. All types of things waiting for us in the desert. Anger and bitterness. Are you spending your time on your knees praying and fasting, getting ready for the trials? Because the hard time itself, it's part of the trial, but it's all the things that assault your soul. You understand what I'm saying? See, Satan comes during those times and assaults your faith. Yeah, they were in a desert in Israel, but then Satan spoke to him. See that grumbling is, hey, has God fed you today? Hey, wasn't it better in Egypt? That was Satan whispering in the ear and them listening, right? And you're going through a hard time, you're going through loss, you're going through heartache, you're going through whatever, and Satan comes and says, what's your husband doing? Has anybody in the church called you today? You gave all that money to the church, and now look at you. You got nothing for yourself. Aren't you stupid? You got baptized. You hadn't been on a date in 6 months. He was a scrub. Not that anybody would think that in this room, but other people may find that. Aren't you stupid? You're going to end up alone with a Bible. See, it's all Satan coming during those times of trials. That's the real. See, Jesus understood that the desert wasn't the big trial. It was Satan coming in the desert. Satan coming during this trial. Satan coming in the midst of it. In the midst of loss, in the midst of whatever. And he had to pray and fast to be ready. To be ready. And maybe Satan thought in his mind, well, he's ready now, he's hungry. He didn't understand, because he don't understand. He was all powered up. His stomach was empty, but his spirit was full. He was all powered up. And his faith didn't wear out. And his focus didn't wear out. And he was being refined during this time, not weakened, because he was on his knees praying and fasting. Are you on your knees praying and fasting on the struggle? Amen. Are you giving into the struggle? Kids drive me crazy. This is causing, are you letting anxiety be your demon? Are you casting the anxiety out on your knees? Praying and fasting on your knees. These trials that Satan came with. First off, you can't be tempted unless on some level you want to do it. Jesus never sinned. It didn't mean that he never had any desire to sin on some level. The reason why they cried with loud cries and tears to obey was because obedience was hard. It's not hard. Look, I've never smoked a cigarette a day in my life. Not one. And I get no spiritual credit for that. You know why? I was severe asthmatic growing up. Just being around cigarette smoke, I would wheeze, I couldn't breathe. Being around it. What? I was never going to take a cigarette. Ever. I wanted to live. I was never once tempted. Frank, take one of these. Are you? No, I can't be around you when you're smoking. No way, no how. It's not. I was tempted for cigarettes for no. I never thought about buying a cigarette. Never thought about puffing a cigarette. Now there's a whole bunch of other sin though. I thought about, did about, ran about. Hey, you got to desire on some level for it to be a temptation. We have desire, and then we're tempted to be bitter because we're angry. There's a part of us that feels we want to vindicate ourselves. We're tempted to give in to sexual immorality because we desire something. We're tempted for so many different things. Satan's coming. Oh, Frank, here's some cigarettes. I didn't get tempted much because Satan knew. That's a non-starter. But there were a whole bunch of other things knocking on my door, right? Satan brought 3 specific things. He brought a quick fix, a cheap thrill, and a shortcut. Because when you're going through hard times, those things, and your quick fix may be different depending on who you are, and your cheap thrill may be different depending on who you are, and your shortcut may be different. But that's the 3 temptations he came with. Okay, what was a quick fix? I'm hungry. Eat something. Quick fix. This will fix your problem. What will fix your problem? This is quick. Now, we know it's not what God wants you to do, to use your miraculous power for selfish reasons. But hey, you're hungry, turn the stone to bread. You can do it. It's a quick fix. So I'm telling you a quick and easy fix for your solution. All right? Quick and easy fix. This will fix it. It will compromise what's right. But it'll fix your problem. So often, the immediate fix to our problem, man, you're angry, lash out at your husband. Don't you feel better once you lash out? You do in the short run. Get off your chest. It's a quick fix. There's backlash, right? But it's a quick fix. See what your immediate there. Right? He tempts with a quick fix. But Jesus had an answer. He fought with scripture. Man, the little brother, he saw it coming. He says, my solution to my hunger is not taking a quick fix. My solution is God. I will not waver on that. My solution is God. We're going to talk it out, not yell it out. My solution is God. Right? Okay, so how about cheap thrill? Wouldn't it be fun to jump off the building and let angels catch you? You can do it. Have you ever tried that before? It's so much fun. Right? Look, I don't know about you. I am most tempted with cheap thrills during hard times. It's almost like there's a voice in my head saying, Frank, you've been so faithful. You work so hard for God, and you're going through all these hard times. You deserve some pleasure. You deserve a little pleasure. For those that are on special diets or diet work, I mean, when do you compromise the most, right? You're under stress, you're under pressure, things are bad. It's like, man, I'm going to get some chocolate cake today. I've been dieting well, man. I deserve some pleasure, right? But it's the cheap thrill, right? And sexual morality is that way, appearance is that way, anger is that way, bitterness. Look, we feel like we deserve. I'm going through hard time. I want to feel better. I just want to gratify. I want the cheap thrill. He said, look, here's a cheap thrill. Here's some enjoyment. going around, man, preaching the word. Okay, fine, but man, wouldn't that be cool? Just to, you the Son of God. And it's proving it to Satan challenge him. If you're the Son of God, so there's also the thrill of proving him wrong, right? Getting caught up in a display of egos. Quick fix, the cheap thrill. And then a shortcut. You know, Satan offered Jesus the kingdom of the world. Do you understand something? He couldn't have offered it to him if it weren't his to give. This country is not a nation under God, it's a nation under the dominion of Satan. Are you unpatriotic? All the other countries are too. Your company isn't owned by your boss, it's owned by Satan. He is the prince of this world. That's why this world is not our home. We're just passing through. He has given the authority of this world over to Satan, and that's the way it is. And so, one day, every authority will be under God's feet, under Jesus' feet. It'll come back, and all the people that are under Satan will be crushed and destroyed, and everyone will bow down that didn't bow down before. But it was not that day. And there was a whole lot of pain and suffering ahead for Jesus for it to be there. He had to preach for 3 years. He had to be cast away. He had to be beaten and flogged and crucified. And died and come back to life in order to wrest this world from Satan's control. And be able to save a few and then come back in glory and the whole world be under his reign. See, that's a whole long, challenging process. Satan says, you know, I control the world now. And I'm so much nicer than your father. I'll give you control of kingdoms now. No preaching, no persecution, no crucifixion. Don't have to be buried. You get to reign as king over all the kings because that is mine to give. I have a shortcut. You know, every blessing is not from God, by the way. Oh man, I got this great job. I got to work every Sunday. I don't think that was from God. Well, I prayed for a job. Yeah, you prayed for a job. But Satan doesn't mind if you work or not. He doesn't mind if you're rich or poor, by the way. He doesn't mind if you're single or married. For some people, marriage is a test. For some singles, a test, right? Satan just wants you to go to hell. He doesn't care what. Sometimes not having a man can ruin your faith. Sometimes having the wrong man can ruin your faith. Please believe that. He said, he didn't care. He didn't have it in. He didn't give you healthy or sick. I'm sick. It's the devil. Sometimes it's God trying to give you faith. Keep you out of trouble. He didn't care. He didn't care whether Jesus was a king or a company. He just wanted to keep Christ from doing the right thing. He wants to keep Maureen or Jaleesa or Nosi or Porter from doing the right thing. He doesn't care if God sends you money or the opportunity or take it away. Just keep you from doing the right thing, whatever it takes. And he'll give you a shortcut to your goals. If that shortcut involves compromising your faith. He'll give you the job of your dreams, the health of your dreams, the man or woman of your dreams, not God's, by the way, your dreams. It's because you're a nightmare over time, but please believe that too. But he'll give you your dream if you just take a shortcut. Because God's way is so long. Right? Because Jesus was praying and fasting, he was ready for that one too. I'm going to worship the Lord God. Because I've been praying for 40 days. Not my will, but thine. Not my will, but thine. Great job, Porter. I do want to say one thing different than what you said. God does want to hear the same prayer over and over again. Not a doubt, but talks about the need to be persistent in our prayers, right? So, look, the funny thing about prayer, there's not one passage where any prayer is off limits. God doesn't complain about praying too much. Doesn't complain about praying about too many things. You can pray about anything. Like God just says pray unceasingly. Pray all the time. His requirements are that you pray in faith. In faith, that you pray a lot, and that you pray first about Him and His kingdom and His will. Not only, look, you get your heart right about that first. And you can pray all day about everything else. But how you pray about that stuff's going to be different, by the way. Because you pray, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, or doesn't happen, and you mean it, it changes you on the inside. It changes your why you want everything else. Look, you can want a car for you, or you can want a car to serve. You can want a house for you, or you can want a house, man, because you imagine all the neighbors coming in that you can help baptize. You can want, see, it changes all your whys. And everything you ever want to pray about changes because you're on your knees, not my will, but done.
That's right.
But you become that person in the desert. Guys, I wish I could spare you time in the desert. But I gotta be honest, I really wish I could spare me time in the desert. True confession between you and me, I'm picking me. No more time in the desert. But I spent time there, and I'm gonna spend a lot more time with you now in heaven, because this ain't heaven. This is not my promised land. Never going to be. Make your time in the desert well spent. Make your time in the desert well spent. Let the Lord refine you into the mighty word. There's a reason why Jesus' ministry was launched after this time. All the great miracles happened after this time. Let your time, you will become the person God wants you to be because, not in spite of, because of time spent in the desert. If you spend it well. Make your time in the desert well spent, and to God be the glory. Amen.